What is up, everybody? I'm Steve SVU, and welcome to Week 3 of the MMC Pokemon Draft League. Last week, we managed to get the 5-0 victory against Mr. Oldman, but this week I'm going against IHLP and his, let's say, annoying team over at the New York Garchomps. IHLP managed to nab up his mascot this season with Garchomp, who's extremely versatile, being able to stack hazards or sweep any given week. And his second pick, Goldengo, really helped support his already amazing hazard game. And we all know how much I despise Goldengo. Zapdos is also yet again another incredible pick that pairs incredibly well with Goldengo, being able to find safe switch-ins quite frequently, and his offensive core is rounded out with both Ogerpon Wellspring and Blaziken, both being able to set up with Sword Stance and threaten to sweep in the late game, since nothing on my team really enjoys eating their boosted attacks. Bombi gives him a strong lead option, being able to spread status with Stun Spore as well as set sticky webs to slow me down. UXIE and Qwilfish both gives him yet again even more hazard support, but it's also an incredibly effective wall and an amazing switch into my Psychic spam. And finally, his Terra captains are fairly predictable, honestly, with Terra Cryogonal being able to Terra Ground, Ice, and Fairy, Chimecho being able to Terra Fairy, Water, and Psychic, and finally his main guy, UXIE, being able to Terra Psychic, Fairy, or Steel. I think it's pretty obvious which guy would be coming this week. And finally, for his low tier option, he has Dunsparce, the GOAT. We always love a good Dunsparce, even if he may be riding the bench this week, because generally I don't think he matches up very well into my team. To start us off, I felt like I could really use some removal potential against his team, so counter Sand Slash is coming off the bench. With EQ and Knock, I'm always able to smack Goldengo super hard, even if he's holding an air balloon. And I have enough investment to live a non-specs Make It Rain, and I'm bringing Sash counter to possibly get a cheeky KO against Ogerpon or Garchomp trying to attack me, which is why I'm also a lonely nature to maximize my own damage as well as the damage I deal with counter. Due to his team being generally slower and bulky, I thought sub D-Dance Pult could put in some work. With Phantom Force, I'm able to easily do huge amounts of damage into Goldengo, being able to KO if he's offensive or if I'm at +1, which is his only real switch into Dragon Darts. Clear Body lets me block and intimidate from Qwilfish coming in on me, and if he's specially bulky, I always hit KO him with Dragon Darts at +1. Following up after Pult, I thought having something alongside it to dissuade webs could be important in the late game, so Agility Empoleon fills in the slot. At +2, Empoleon is able to hit KO or Oko his entire team with either Surf or Ice Beam thanks to my competitive ability, and even if I get my speed drop, Agility helps me get to +1, and since I don't exactly need a third coverage move, I slotted on Rocks to help support the team even if he doesn't end up bringing webs. And up next, I'm bringing Protected Pad Sneasler. Sneasler has a great speed tier into this squad despite not having the best matchup defensively, which is why Protective Pads is so big here, allowing me to always U-turn freely on Garchomp and Zapdos without risking chip or status. CC and Dire Claw offer the same great stab options, plus Dire Claw's chance to status gets increased thanks to my Poison Touch, and Shadow Claw is mainly there for Goldengo or free Terra UXIE. Since the team so far is very offensively based, Mandibuzz offers me the stable middle ground, this time running Foul Play to threaten Chomp or Ogre trying to set up, alongside Knockoff to get rid of his item. Not many things on his team love switching into Mandibuzz, especially when I can heal myself up with Roost, or I can get a slow U-turn off into my final Pokemon, Choice Specs, Terra, Psychic, and Indeedee. Absolutely nothing loves switching in on Indeedee. Everything gets 2-hit KO'd or O-code by expanding force outside of Hisui Qwilfish, of course, but Dazzling Gleam can hit it insanely hard. Shadow Ball allows me to have a neutral ground move to click into things like UXIE or Goldengo, while I'm still hitting many things fairly hard. And finally, Encore can possibly save me if he tries to set up as I switch in. But that is it for Week 3 of Season 4 of the MMC Pokemon Draft League. If you're liking my content, please feel free to drop a like and consider subscribing. You can always unsub later if you change your mind, but I'm hoping to make it to 200 subs by the end of the year, and you all can help me get there. Massive shoutouts to Absol and Kenny for the prep help this week, and with that all out of the way, let's get right into the battle. Alright everybody, welcome back to the battle. Alright, this is generally what I expected. Nothing here was unexpected. Ogre, Gold, UXIE, Zapdos, Qwilfish, all that stuff makes general sense, and Garchomp of course. I think I want to go for Empoleon here, because I kind of suspect that he is going to be leading Qwilfish if I had to guess. You know what? I think that is a good option because that allows me to do solid damage into Qwilfish, solid damage into Garchomp. The only thing that I would really need to switch out for would be Ogre, so that's what I'm doing. Going there, 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 and there. And I don't think he's going to be leading Ogre, mainly because I think that he is going to be afraid of me leading Sneasler. Shaking out the jitters, everybody. Let's go. Okay, time to lock in. Week 3 versus Mike, aka IHLP. Let's go. All right. Ogerpon, okay. That is fine. I kind of suspect that he's going to be going for rock. Oh, not rocks. Spikes is what I mean to say. I kind of want to just go for Ice Beam, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think just going for Ice Beam is okay here. Knock off. Ooh, that did a lot. This is okay. Now I'm going for rocks. He might switch in gold. U-turn, okay. That is fine. This thing probably won't end up sweeping like I kind of hoped it would, but I mean, he didn't bring Rabombi, so that's not the biggest deal in the world here. I can't get my competitive boost. Alright. This is A-okay. Alright. There we go. I'm kind of suspecting he's going to go for an electric type move. I'm going to go in to this. Because then I can knock this off, and if he goes for Defog, that's fine with me. That's one move that I know he has then. Alright, very good. Now I go for Knock. He could go for Hurricane. That is a definite possibility, but I don't know if he wants... Okay. I was going to say I don't know if he wants to go for that damage. Alright. That is fine. Static. Expected here. Okay. No boots. Alright. What do I think he's gonna do now? Okay. I'm gonna save this for the time being. Because then I can still get a rapid spin off later down the line. I don't want to switch in this. Alright. I think I just want to go into... You know what? Sure, let's go into Tiffany here. I can eat one Hurricane. And I got a decent amount of special defense too, so I think this should still be fine. Yeah. Ooh, man, that does a lot. Alright. Then I go for this here. On the double. Okay. Because if there's one thing I know about him, yep, he is just going to go for the safe play. Please no para. Okay, that's good. I think I just want to go for D-Darts. Get off damage on anything here. He's probably going to switch into Quillfish if I had to guess. Yeah. This is fine. 100% A-okay here. Because this is good damage and clear body. Alright. Alright. Good damage. Very, very good damage here. Alright. Good. And then what I kind of want to go for, because this really opens up late game Sneasler. Or not, yeah, Sneasler as well as Indeedee. So I kind of want to just go into this. Kind of the mon that I can risk the most. And if he goes for spikes, I can rapid spin. Throat chop. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go for a knockoff. I'm going to sack this. Okay. This is fine. And now what I can go into is I can just go into Sneasler. And I can just go for... I'm going to go for U-turn. Because if he goes gold, then I get good pivot option into this. Yep. And if he goes Zapdos, that is okay. I threaten. Okay, Garchomp. Okay. That's an interesting switch, in my opinion. But, I mean, this is okay. Alright. Do I get a poison? Yes, I do. That's good. Alright. Rough Skin. Alright, my protective pads. I know he's not Rocky Helmet. There's a possibility that he is Loaded Dice Chomp. There's a chance that he is Scarf Chomp. I'm going to go into Asgore. And the main reason I'm doing that is because he's going to be afraid of Terra Fairy, I imagine. Bulky Terra Fairy. Alright. And now I'm going to Terra, and I'm going to Expanding Force. I don't think he's going to switch into Quillfish. And... Alright! Not Quillfish. Not Quillfish. Ah! Okay. I mean, this is still okay. I get my Terra off. Man, I should have D-Gleamed. I have D-Gleam too. I just was really expecting him to read the Dazzling Gleam there. If I Dazzling Gleamed, oh, that would have been so good. That would have been so crazy good. Okay, but this is fine. Because then I can just switch this right away into Sneasler then. Oh, nope. Not that. Sneasler. And then I can just click Close Combat, I believe. I think clicking Close Combat is for the best. Spikes, okay, that's fine. One layer, not a big deal. I'm just worried about him switching in gold, but I think I'm gonna Close Combat. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. No gold. UXIE, okay. Still weird how he would go for that when I U-turned last time, but I mean, this is still okay. This is still fine. Ooh, that is a max Fizz Def. Alright. And this is more than likely, if I had to guess, Terra Fairy. Terra Fairy Calm Mind. So what I'm going to do here is... Terra Fairy Calm Mind. I don't really want to switch this in here. I think I'm gonna go for this. I kind of wish I had Roost on Empoleon, but this is still okay. My main goal right here is to just chip this thing down into a range that Indeedee can possibly take it out. Because if he Terra Fairies, then he tears out of his Psychic Resistance, and Specs boosted hits just do crazy damage to him. Okay. He's just going for Calm Mind. It's possible he thinks I'm Roar. I was originally Roar on this. Maybe I should have kept that. But this is still fine. Regardless, I can always just U-turn on this later down the line. I'm gonna go for Surf. And he really is just like stacking here. Yeah, this is still okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep clicking Surf. I'm gonna let Empoleon go down. Yep, this is okay. Still doing good damage. Okay, is that a crit? No, that's just good damage. Okay. Alright. And now I'm gonna go for Ice Beam this turn. Okay. D-Kiss. Yeah, this is 100% Terra Fairy. Okay. Alright, so I am at this point here. I do kind of want to just, like, knock this thing off, but he's just going to go for Draining Kiss and heal up all of his health. So I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to predict him going for... I'm going to predict him going for Terra Fairy, and I'm going to go for Dire Claw. I think that's the best option here. And then if I also get... Okay, no! Man. It's kind of wild that he didn't Terra. Man, okay. He's just reading my ass. Okay. Alright, this is still just fine. I think, at least. Ugh. This is really annoying me. Mike is just not playing how I would expect him to play whatsoever. Okay. I'm just going for... I'm going for Shadow Ball. I'm Specs. This should at least do, like, a solid chunk. Now he Terra Fairies. Of course he would Terra Fairy here. What? I don't understand what plays he's making. I seriously don't. Like, I don't get these reads whatsoever. Like, yeah, that makes sense, but then you're tearing out of your... Oh my god. Like, if I went for Expanding Force there, you would be dead this next turn. You would be dead. Like, what? Okay, whatever. This is just... I don't understand. I don't understand this, man. I don't understand at all. I guess I'm just gonna go for this. My god. Yeah, I don't understand any of this. This thing is 6-0ing me. I am really annoyed that none of my plays played out. Like, nothing. Like, if I went for U-turn there, he would be dead. Like, I don't understand. And then, like, all these switches into certain things, like... I'm salty because I'm getting outplayed. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I just don't understand these plays. Like, I don't understand how Mike plays. And it's just causing me to play poorly, I guess. This is why you should always research your opponents, I guess. But yeah, okay. This is just, yeah. I have no reason to just Phantom Force, I guess. Okay. Ugh, this is annoying. Seriously, seriously annoying. Okay. Man, like... Yeah, I just don't know what to say, guys. This is such a disappointing match. Like, seriously disappointing. Like, I'm just frustrated right now. Like, if I just played, like, the obvious plays, this wouldn't be an issue. But I overpredicted, and it screwed me over in the end. Yeah. Yeah. So, GG's, Mike. GG's. I am washed. Well, that lives. Okay, that's interesting. I could have done that way sooner, I guess. But alright. Yeah, GG's, guys. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Just frustrated. Really, really frustrated. But hey, that's what it is, I guess. Like, that's why you gotta play it safe. Don't make too many predictions, especially ones that sort of ride on your game. Just gotta play your game. And this is what happens when you overpredict and just don't play to your outs correctly. That's on me. I will try to get a hold of Mike and see if he is willing to do a post-game interview, but if not, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, no matter how poorly it may have gone. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey.
Hey, man. How are you doing?
Pretty alright. Just woke up, so nothing to complain about yet.
Yeah, me too, man. I got my cup of coffee for this interview and everything. This is gonna be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me have a look at this team, because there was a few things that surprised me for sure.
Yeah. I definitely, like, for better or for worse, I definitely cooked this week. When it was just like, I was sort of just trying to go for things that I thought could catch people off guard, which is not a good way to prep. So
right, yeah, I've been there before, and I definitely agree that doesn't usually work out the best.
Yeah, like the Sand Slash set, objectively speaking, this should have been my lead. Like, leading Empoleon over Sand Slash was 100% a misplay, because I knew you were going to be leading either Garchomp or Ogerpon to possibly, like, I don't think you had spikes on your Ogerpon, but if you were, then you could always just, like, U-turn out, spike, or whatever, and you'll actually see that I am a lonely nature, so I actually take more damage from Earthquake and stuff like that.
Yeah, focus.
Yeah, focus, sash, and counter then. So
I see. That nice. Actually, I promise you, there was a 0% chance I was playing around that with turn 1 lead Ogerpon. That would have worked.
Man. It sucks.
There's no way I would have seen that coming. I wouldn't have even known it had counter. I wouldn't have had the time to look it up with the 60-second turns.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that I was disappointed about. That was my plan from the beginning, and then all of a sudden, I joined the battle, and I just completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I actually didn't really have a set lead this game, and I just let off vibes. When I saw you, when I saw your team, I was just like, Ogerpon should be pretty good here into pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And if it's like some random Sneasler lead, then I can switch into it.
Yeah, exactly. You could always like switch out. But I do like the Garchomp set that you were mentioning before. The Habanberry is definitely nice. I still wonder how much Dragon Darts would have done, because it only halves the damage of the first dart. But
it would have done about 50.
Yeah, and that makes sense because like your max Fizz Def, so yeah.
Yeah, the thing I liked about the Haban is that it could catch both physical and special Dragon Ball sets. The most common set I faced in the mock was Whispacks, Dragon Darts. So that's why I added Draco on the last slot. That had spikes originally.
Yeah, and that's also part of the reason why I didn't want to run special this week, is because you have Golden Go, and the Wisp Hex sets just genuinely did not do enough damage to Golden Go, because that thing can't get status. So
right, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, so he would always be able to switch in.
Could be a possibility too.
Yeah, Specs was a thing I was playing around with, but then still it would be like risking 50/50s into like Gold and Quillfish with like Dragon moves, or like or ghost moves in Quillfish's
Right.
case.
Right, yeah, I tell you this. The first thing I did as soon as I saw that you had 3 psychic types and a Dragapult on your team is I immediately jammed Max Foot up Quillfish, and I didn't regret it at all.
Yeah, that's 100% understandable. I was definitely expecting that, but that's also kind of why I wanted to go with Physical Pulse, because at +1, I always KO'd Quillfish with Dragon Darts. Because I'm Clear Body, so the Intimidate wouldn't drop me, and with just Max Fizz Def, at +1, Dragon Darts would always 2-hit KO.
Right, yeah, and actually would have ended up doing way more than that since I had no Fizz Def at all.
I am kind of just... I see why. Like, I really need to stop over-prepping for Sticky Web, because I understand webs are just simply not good into my team. Like,
yeah, especially because, like, the one mon you'd really want to target is the Dragapult, and it already has Clear Body, and then Sneasler, if you really need it to be fast, is going to be on Burden, so it's going to outspeed you no matter what.
Exactly, and
it's only one level of speed drop. It's not enough to stop the unburden.
And, like, I also have competitive Empoleon, which is sort of what I was planning on, like, doing pretty big damage with this week. I was sort of expecting, like, Ribombee, like, a possible Ribombee to, like, be a lead, because it leads really well into, like, Sneasler and Dragapult. Like, the only bad lead it has is against, like, Empoleon, so I was like, he could bring it. But that's why I brought, like, an agility competitive set, because Surf and Ice Beam 2 KO'd pretty much everything after at +2, especially since I'm max special attack modest.
Right, yeah, it's definitely different than what I expected you to go with Empoleon. I just thought it would be like a standard bulky set, but either way, my plan was that I was going to set up on that Empoleon with UXIE.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, originally this set had Roar on it, but for whatever reason I decided to switch it out for this offensive variant when I simply just should have had it be a Roar set. I could have still kept him competitive if I really wanted to dissuade Sticky Web, but there was no reason I should have been.
It also hit the Quillfish with Intimidate, so competitive was the right call.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, I should have just always been Roar over Agility. Like, Surf, Ice Beam, Rocks, Roar, I feel like would have been a significantly better set. And I think you could have saved me from that UXIE.
It's possible.
At least temporarily, because once I saw that, like, you were... Well, I always knew you were a Calm Mindset, but regardless, once I could have been able to force you out and possibly positioned myself better. But... what you gonna do? Also, what did you think of the protective pad Sneasler?
That surprised me, but I definitely get it. It made sense because, you know, I could kind of just go Garchomp on it anytime, and that protective pad stopped that.
Yeah, it helped protect against Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet, like you mentioned, but it also helped stop status on Zapdos. So I would just be able to freely click U-turn without being threatened by static.
See, I didn't even think about it to that extent. I didn't realize. I thought it was just damage effects, but yeah, static too.
And, like, Zapdos, while it's generally, like, a fairly good Sneasler switch-in, it doesn't love getting poisoned. So I was really happy when I did get poisoned. Yeah.
Yeah, or put to sleep, or, yeah, I mean, Dark Claw's definitely a crazy move.
Yeah, it's sad that I didn't get anything when I clicked it against the UXIE, but I mean, hey, what you gonna do? Like, you can't get every proc.
Yeah, I mean, you have still been pretty tough there. I mean, unless you got poison, maybe that would have helped. Sleep definitely would have helped, and TERA, well, you saw what Elliot did to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I guess any of them could have worked.
Yeah, all of them could have, like, helped, but at the end of the day, you were already set up to the point where it was just, like, I had to like deal with you really quickly, and you always had the option to TERA at that point, so I was never like freely able to get super effective damage off onto you. So it was always going
Yeah.
to be a rough showing. And yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna take a quick once over at your team again.
Okay.
Yeah, I. What exactly were you speed creeping on Ogerpon? I completely forgot what other my mons are like in the 110s range.
I wanted to be faster than Galvantula, and I honestly didn't optimize it. I could have taken like 12 HP, but it didn't make a difference.
Yeah, but at that point, 12 HP is just like super highly optimized. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Yeah, but okay, that makes sense. I completely forgot that Galv was something I had because just like spoiler alert for everyone, I did make some trades. I traded out TERA Grafii, sadly, Sandslash,
Rip.
and I also swapped out Galvantula too, and I picked up TERA Sandaconda instead, who can tear into a ground, water, or fairy type. And then I also
like that a lot, by the way, the Terracan Sandaconda.
Yeah, Elliot's actually the one who put me onto it. Like I always knew TERA Sandaconda was like a good mon, but he's the guy who kind of like helped me like format my team with the trades.
With games.
Yeah, he's the tinkerer to say the least.
Oh yeah.
And then the other two mons that I decided to pick up were Cryogonal as just like another low tier spinner.
You got my sloppy seconds there.
Yep, originally it was one of his Terra captains, but he made some trades and dropped Cryo, so I just picked him right back up. And then
Hope it does well. I did have faith in that guy. I was just never in a Terra over the UXIE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was just no reason to Terra at that point, and why am I forgetting what? Oh yeah, and of course I finally have a fairy type and a grass type with Whimsicott now, and it's all. While Whimsicott is not exactly like the perfect Pokemon by any means, like it's not super bulky or like offensive in any way, but it still gets prankster support, something that was nice about Grafii that I just could never end up working. So Whimsicott does help a lot with that as well. And just generally being a strong, well, quote-unquote, like, good fairy type and grass type option, I think he can do some good work.
So yeah. that makes it strong, because Moonblast is broken.
Yeah, and, like, Priority Encore, like, that's pretty good.
Priority Encore is disgusting, and then you got stupid stuff like Stun Spore if you want to get risky with it.
Yeah, like, Whimsicott will just be an annoying thing that people will just have to, like, plan for. And that's kind of all he needs.
I think the trades made your team a lot better.
Mm-hmm. I was definitely struggling for a good ground type, because as much as I like to defend Sandslash, it still just is objectively a not amazing Pokemon. If it got Icicle Crash or Ice Spinner, I think it could have been like a bit better. Like definitely a Diet Dawn fan, but not having that ice type coverage, I feel like is really rough for it.
It's just really frail. I saw it come in on the Zapdos, and I was like, there's no way this thing lives 2 hurricanes anyway.
I mean, it would live 2 hurricanes if you missed one.
yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, that's definitely a chance of that happening when you press Hurricane.
Mm-hmm. I would know all about missing moves.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You play with Iron Fumble, so that's on you.
Jesus, that's such a good name, Iron Fumble. I fucking love that. I'm gonna have to yoink that at some point.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, everything else on your team I generally either expected or I understand. Like, I was definitely expecting a Nasty Plot Golden Ghost set. I was sort of expecting you to be either like Recover or Nasty Plot and just run like an extra coverage move, but I definitely get having both of them on the same set. I don't think there is anything on my team that resists both Steel and Ghost, so I think that makes sense.
Yeah, Golden Ghost's pretty broken.
Yeah, I fucking hate that Pokemon.
I've wanted to use it for a while, but I didn't honestly think it would even make it to me at the end of round one.
Yeah, and the fact that you got Garchomp and Golden Go is kind of insane, in my opinion.
I just thought that pair it just made way too much sense when I saw that there.
It did. Like, that's borderline like me drafting Golden Go and Gliscor back in the LVL days. Like, yeah, and it was a really good pairing, but I like the Garchomp here better, honestly, because Gliscor was just always defensive, and I feel like Garchomp, you can run it offensive a lot easier than you can run Gliscor.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's still just like really bulky too, so it's not exactly like a bad like switch option either.
The stats and the move pool on Garchomp really, really good. I haven't even run an offensive set actually yet.
Keyword yet.
I was defensive again here.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time too, like you still have like good damage dealing options. Like Draco Meteor is just gonna hit hard no matter what.
Yeah, I like that. I like the Blaziken can use Overheat and then use other moves too. I like mons that can just be flexible like that.
Yeah, and I was sort of expecting you to be Blaziken here. Not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I actually speed crept my Dragapult to be able to outspeed max speed +1 Blaziken, specifically for that reason. So then I would always be able to come in on like a Protect or something and like hit you in return.
Yeah, funny enough, the only mon that I actually seriously considered bringing over anything on this team was Dunsparce.
That's actually kind of funny.
I was just gonna sit there and like wall with Body Slam and Toxic.
That makes sense. The main reason
I figured the Dragapult wouldn't break it. But you were sub, so that wouldn't have worked out very well. I'm glad that I didn't bring that.
Yeah, that would have just been a setup opportunity for sub D-Dance.
Yep.
And then I'm just taking a quick look again at the team real quick. Cassie Berry is the Ghost Resist Berry, right?
Yeah, I just was gonna use that to like bait a either a Spec Shadow Ball from the Indeedee or the Dragapult.
Yeah, and that definitely makes sense, and I think that would have actually that would have gotten me if I like clicked Phantom Force against the Golden Go, because even if I was at +2, then I still don't think I was like KOing. Phantom Force is pathetically weak.
Probably not. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with Dragapult. That's why I don't like it as much, because it really wishes it had Poltergeist or something.
Yeah, like even if it had like something like Shadow Force, which is basically just better Phantom Force, I feel like
that would at least do way more damage.
Yeah, and like I definitely get it. I think the main reason with Dragapult is just because it has so many options. Like its coverage move pool is really good. It has so many utility moves. Like it's such a versatile mon that I feel like with its speed, it's just really good at just about anything it does. Even if it's really missing some of that really strong, hard-hitting like stab like damage.
Right. No, it's definitely still really, really good, but it's just like so close to being perfect.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I feel like if it got Poltergeist, I think it would be banned in draft, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, I could see it being allowed in like certain like more fringe leagues, you know, like the kind that like allow Chien-Pao and stuff to roam free.
Right.
I feel like in a Chien-Pao like metagame, I think Dragapult could survive, but it's without that sort of like high power level, I don't see it.
Yeah, it would just be like a league that allows a little more freedom.
But yeah, I was really hoping Indeedee would do really well this week, mainly just because like specs Expanding Force has exactly one switch in, and that is Hisui and Quillfish. And once you are at HP, like half at HP, super early on, I was like, this opens up Indeedee so hard, because even if you're, because unless you're like max HP, max special defense, Golden Go, you got to hit KO'd by Expanding Force. Like,
yeah, Indeedee was the biggest threat to my team. Unironically, I was terrified of that mon.
It sucks that I wasn't able to throw off my hits before the UXIE came in, but I mean that mon's a threat and a half. Like, I've heard people talk down on TERA UXIE, and that thing just, it's annoying. It's so annoying. Because you know exactly what it's gonna do. You know exactly what it's gonna do, but it's just gonna do its thing anyways, and it's going to sweep you.
It's so bulky too. I really do believe that UXIE is one of the best Terra caps that we have available, if not the best. I'm so far absolutely not regretting my decision to have it.
Yeah, I 100%.
It would have done well against Elliot too if it didn't get absolutely parried to death.
With that being said too, I'm sure you'll probably see in the video, and as you saw in the post interview, I was also pretty salty when I lost to the UXIE. So I do just want to apologize for that. I wasn't like overtly like insulting or anything, I don't think, but I was definitely, I feel like my behavior was not like as kosher as it normally is. Like, I try to have good vibes.
Hey man, it's fine. All of us get salty once in a while. It's happened to me too. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah, and it's just like, that's something that I need to learn more, I feel like, about drafts, is that I need to like learn to take my mistakes in strides, because at the end of the day, even if I feel like it was really difficult like predicting your plays, with good like playmaking, I shouldn't have to predict every single play. So that's just
I could also explain that little sequence where I got the UXIE in for the first time with you1 as well. Basically, I just kind of have like a read on people in general that they don't like to repeat a cycle twice. So I didn't think you would want to use U-turn again, because I could just go Garchomp. And I was like, if I get UXIE in here, it's probably just going to win the game, so I went for it.
Yeah, that's 100% valid. I was more so expecting, like, I think I said in the video that I was expecting more so like a Golden Go, because it covered both U-turn and close combat. But at the same, and like generally it was just a perfect Sneasler switch in anyways. Like, I had to be running Shadow Claw to do damage to it. So, So
Throat Chop.
Oh yeah, I could have ran Throat Chop. The main reason why I didn't was just because like, there were just a few things on your team that I just didn't want to be running, like the Dark Stab, the Dark coverage move for over the Ghost. I felt like it just did more damage into certain things. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But regardless,
nothing that I brought.
Yeah. I don't think it would have... It might have mattered because Throat Chop is slightly more damage, but regardless, it's still like not the biggest deal in the world. It didn't end up mattering.
Right.
But yeah, like, that's just something that I feel like I need to learn more, is that I don't have to just like over predict so much and then just make like bad plays. I need to take more time and just like think through my plays before I make them.
Yeah, that's what happens to me. If I get mad at this game, it's not because of the hacks, because I've been through so many Pokemon games, I'm just immune to that. I get frustrated myself for bad decisions.
Yeah, that's generally more where I come from. Like, if I get hacked, I am frustrated, but at the end of the day, I can accept that I did the best that I could. But when I make bad plays, then it's just like, man, I could have done better, but I fumbled, and I think that's infinitely more frustrating than getting hacks, personally.
Oh yeah, easily. When I lose games like the one that I lost to Elliot week 2, it's like, okay, well, my UXIE didn't even get to play the game, and then I kind of just really couldn't do anything, so it happens.
Yeah, and that is the game that we play. The best that we can do is try to learn from any mistakes that we make, and then just continue going forward and try to be a better player and hopefully minimize those things in the future. Like,
And I definitely think I've accomplished that, especially from where I started season 3 to now.
yeah, I 100% agree. Like, you've been a menace this season so far. Like, your only loss against Elliot, and generally speaking, I feel like you played that game fairly well. It's just you got hacked. So
The
who
only
knows?
thing that I did wrong that game was going to Zapdos before I went to Blaziken, but I thought I was going to outspeed.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's like thinking you're
I
gonna
was
be
already
faster.
down 6-3 at that point, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, maybe like some differential, but at the end of the day, like what you gonna do? But I would definitely say that's something that I need to learn a lot of as well. Just like being able to adapt better. I feel like if I get frazzled, I make bad mistakes. Like one small example that I could have made a better play with is when you were in with when you had UXIE. It already had killed like 2 of my Pokemon. I in all honesty could have gone into Mandibuzz. I thought Draining Kiss was going to kill me, but it ended up not, and I could have been able to knock you off. And like,
I thought it was going to kill too.
yeah, and if you did TERA, then I forced you to TERA, and then I would have a safe damaging option into like Sneasler. Like I could have Dire Clawed you after, or I could have, or if you didn't TERA, then I was going to hit you with a strong, like knockoff is still really, really strong, and I would have gotten rid of your leftovers. So there's a whole like mess of things that I could have done differently in order to play around it.
Right, yeah, I mean, I
think
think you could have maybe got out of it with losing 2 or 3 Mons, but it was definitely really bad.
yeah, it was 100% bad, but I mean, hey, at the end of the day, like a 5 or 4-0 is significantly better than a 6-0. That's sort of just one of the things that I was like mulling over like during the battles that I could have made that play. But at the end of the day, like I swear I say this all the time, but what more you gonna do? Like, it's in the past. The best you can do is learn from it. And that's what I'm gonna try to do going forward here.
Yeah, well, I definitely wish you the best of luck to it, and I know you'll get back on track because you've also played really well the first 2 weeks of this season. I'm sure this is just going to be a minor setback for you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I definitely hope so. I think I have a really tough rest of my season. I can't remember exactly who all I have like coming up because I tried to just focus on the next battle. But going up against Zero, who is like so far like the highest ranked team in the league, both like in PRs alongside just like in general, like with his win-loss ratio, it's definitely gonna be a rough one, but we're gonna ball.
Yeah, you've been there before. I know it's always a tough match when you play the top player in the league, but sometimes I swear is when I show up the best.
Mm-hmm. When you're down and you're not out, then you never know what you can pull out, right?
Yeah, like I was the 12th seed going into the playoffs this season, and I was just like, well, screw it, one battle at a time, and then suddenly I made finals and almost won the thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also really looking forward to testing out some of my new Mons. There's definitely a few things that I feel like with the trades that I made, it's going to shake up the prep quite a bit for Zero. So I'm hoping that it works out good.
I think Sandaconda is going to be amazing for you. You really needed the ground type, and honestly, just more defensive utility in general. And I think your traits allowed for a lot of that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to using Sandaconda, and I definitely like the TERA Water. Originally, I was going to go TERA Dragon, just because, like, stab scale shot sets are funny. But
oh yeah, I didn't even think of it getting a scale shot, but it makes sense, it's a snake.
Yeah, but I ended up going with TERA Water, mainly because both Elliot and Kenny, they both recommended that I pick up water, because my water type currently does not handle ground types very well. or fire types even for that matter, because of its half steel typing. So having a water type that can more reliably handle those two types would be pretty ideal, and I 100% agree with that.
That definitely makes sense. I mean, for me at a surface level, I would have just been like, oh, turn water, and then you don't get hit super effective by water.
Yeah, that's also...
Button go burr.
That is another, like, thing that we considered as well. The main reason I was also kind of just, like, iffy about it was because the overlapping grass weakness. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think I have to worry about grass types when I have Dragapult and Mandibuzz.
And grass isn't really a big offensive type to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Or Sneasler, for that matter, to be honest. Like, if you're going for a grass move into my team and I switch in, like, Choice Banded Sneasler, yeah, you're just cooked.
Yeah, that's actually the set I was really expecting you to run was Choice Band.
Yeah, I originally wanted Choice Band, but then I already know my own luck. I would have gotten Static that first turn.
You know what's hilarious? Every single mock I played, that Dragapult came into my Zapdos discharge, and I did not get a single para.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And I didn't get it in the game.
Yeah.
Even the Dragapult even U-turned into me, and I didn't get any statics either. I think it had to have hit me at least like a dozen times without getting para'd.
That's just revenge for when you and I mocked for Elliot, and I missed, like, how many triple axles? Oh my god,
you missed every single triple axle. It was so funny.
Yeah, like, I got a 2-hit into a 1-hit, and then I missed 2 Bleak Wind Storms. Like, when I say my luck is awful, I mean it is awful.
Oh, yeah, in those mocks, it was really, really bad.
Yeah. But... thank you so much for joining me for the post-game interview, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, and go games.
Yeah, I wish you luck with the rest of your season, and of course, if you ever need help with prepping, you know who to call.
Same, naturally.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But if you want to say anything to the audience before we head out, you're more than welcome to. I give you the stage.
Oh, geez, so much pressure. No, I think that's about it. I don't really... Man, a few words, usually.
I see. Can't even tell them to like, comment, and subscribe for me. Wow.
Oh, yeah, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and all that stuff.
Using my friends for views. I'm not new to this. Alright, but yeah, of course, everyone, I hope you liked the video. Of course, like Mike said, if you liked the video, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I would like... oh my god, I cannot even do my own outro!
Now you gotta keep this all in here.
Oh yeah, I can't edit this out now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace!
Peace!